I need to get started, Prabhu. It's too late. It's okay. I'll just start. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta. Hare Krishna. Sorry for the delay. So I have put together some slides on the basis of Bhagavad Gita and how it can be relevant in our lives. So the topic I have chosen is stay connected to the real world. This is the topic. So we see around us that things are changing really fast around us. That is primarily driven because of technology. We have computers, we have automation, and slowly, unknowingly, we are getting habituated to things happening at an instant of our finger. So we want everything to happen fast. So we have communication or traveling or any financial deals. So we have apps and online stuff. So we click mouse. Yeah. Right, and we also have these meetings and even financial deals which are happening, right, in different parts of the world, everything through online, right? But while we are dealing with technology, right, most of the focus is on ourselves only. Okay, I have this thing and I need to get it done, but we are not actually aware of the fact that to bring this technology also, there have been lots of energies involved to bring up that computer system or that automation setup or something in the cloud or the meeting setup, right? So in our earlier days, like any transaction and or anything, right, we used to talk to people, understand what the other person is anticipating or expecting, right? And so we see them face to face and we deal with it, right? And we know that that person has certain limitations and certain expectations, right? So that time we know that, okay, because we are having that personal touch, right? We automatically, our mind registers saying that, okay, it will take some time, things this should happen, and eventually this should happen, and eventually over a period of time we hope to close this deal or something like that, right? But unfortunately, with that technology, right, we don't have that awareness, right? We think I'm only facing an application, I need to just click some buttons and get my things done, right? So the question we are asking is that, are we bringing these kind of expectations also to our daily lives, right? Because at least people working in jobs and doing so many things at the same time, right? So they have to take care of so many things, so they think, okay, why not I do things online only and I can save some time, and so that I can be efficient, right? But we should also be conscious of the fact that is adapting to such kind of a lifestyle also changing our expectations and our perceptions of how we deal with people in our own lives also, right? We are finding that people are also becoming more impatient as a result, right? They are being impatient with themselves and also with others whom they are dealing with, right? Right, so the attention span is increasing among youth. Like if you see the big any surveys, we find that it's hard to keep people engaged because they spend lot of time on computers and these technologies that they are used to this behavior of things moving really fast, right? So we cannot keep them effectively engaged, right? And now the technology is even increasing even further. We have like chat GPT or something, right, where now we'll also stop to even think also. We think that, okay, we have something called as chat GPT that will provide us answers for whatever we need, right? Of course, technology is important and it is helping to enhance our lives, but uh, it has some strings attached also, so we need to be careful about them, right? So to achieve anything good, right, it takes time and sustained effort. That is a very fundamental principle that we should not forget in all of this process of enhancing our life using technology, right? Anything good, like developing relationships, overcoming bad habits, improving our character, progressing on spiritual path, takes time and sustained effort, right? So that is why, right, we should be constantly reminding ourselves uh, while dealing with technology that okay, this is there to help us to do this transaction quickly, but we need to constantly in a practical way re-emphasize this point that anything good takes time and sustained effort. People are not things, right? They have emotions, they have perceptions, they have limitations, so you have to deal more patiently with them, spend quality time, right? So in this way, right, we will be able to effectively use technology without it influencing us negatively. Okay, so all of this is actually in one way related to our awareness, our and our and how we are actually training our minds. So what I feel is that in one way our minds are getting trained to this fast pace of things going all around, and that we are unknowingly bringing that habits to other places as well, right? But so that is why we should again always stick to the basics and always strive to come to the mode of goodness, right? This includes having a regulated sleep schedule, eating sattvic foods, spending time in nature, engaging in physical activities, proper work-life balance. So all of these help the mind to become be in the mode of goodness, right? So if we are in the mode of goodness, then we have a higher chance of being aware of where our mind is uh, going along, right? But if we are not having this ideal or this planning that okay, I need to have a discipline in whatever I do, if if not, the technology and other things will just overpower us without we knowing at all, right? Um right, so whatever the teachings of bhakti, especially the sadhana bhakti principles, right, they automatically involve the incorporating the mode of goodness, right? Getting up early in the morning, and chanting, and we also have many arts, like Prabhuji was playing the kirtan, right? So it's and we are having a live kirtan, right? So it's a way of engaging our senses in a very natural way that would actually help our lives, like being more normal, enriching our mind, keeping it more peaceful, right? And we also have nice opportunities in this sadhana bhakti, which is given by Prabhupada through the acharyas, that we also have like music, dance, slokas. Like these slokas are highly recommended. Like Dravida Prabhu constantly emphasizes that trying to memorize slokas, right, it helps us to remember Krishna. It's a very practical way of absorption in Krishna, right? And also entertaining ourselves, right? We think and and because of this technology, we are even for entertainment also we tend to go to something online, right? But instead we already have lot of scriptures, right? We have the Mahabharat, I mean, if and Ramayana, and Bhagavatam, we have so many stories. Like it has like deep. So I'm currently reading a book by one of the devotee on Ramayana. I could see that, like whatever drama, action, uh, what are the principles to learn in our life. I mean, how to adjust our perceptions, how to think from the other person's perspective, right? So all of these are very nicely explained and elaborated. So that is the beauty where we have our scriptures, where we are learning all of these and are also, automatically being entertained in a very healthy way, right? So here is a verse from Bhagavad Gita 6:17. Yuktahara viharasya yukta chetasa karmasu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkaha. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all the material pains by practicing the yoga system. We'll also read the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Extravagance in the matter of eating, sleeping, defending and mating, which are the demands of the body, and block the advancement in practice of yoga. As far as eating is concerned, it can be regulated only when one is practiced to take and accept prasadam, sanctified food. Lord Krishna is offered, according to Bhagavad Gita 9:26, vegetables, flowers, fruits, grain, milk, etc. In this way, a person in Krishna consciousness becomes automatically trained not to accept food not meant for human consumption, or not in the category of goodness. As far as sleeping is concerned, a Krishna conscious person is always alert in discharge of his duties in Krishna consciousness, and therefore any unnecessary time spent sleeping is considered a great loss. Avyartha kalatvam. A Krishna conscious person cannot bear to pass a minute of his life without being engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, his sleeping is kept to a minimum. His ideal in this aspect is Srila Rupa Goswami, who was always engaged in the service of Krishna and who could not sleep more than 2 hours a day, and sometimes not even that. Thakura Haridasa would not accept prasadam or even sleep for a moment without finishing his daily routine of chanting with his beads 300,000 names. As far as work is concerned, a Krishna conscious person does not do which is anything which is not connected with Krishna's interest, and thus his work is always regulated and is untainted by sense gratification. Since there is no question of sense gratification, there is no material leisure for a person in Krishna consciousness. And because he is regulated in all his work, speech, sleep, wakefulness and all other bodily activities, there is no material misery for him. Right? So, so here Prabhupada very nicely explains that to especially continue this path of bhakti, one needs to be regulated in habits, and this automatically helps us in our day-to-day lives also in enhancing other aspects of our life, right? Like I was briefly elaborating earlier, like dealing with our family, dealing with improving my habits, overcoming my habits, or any such activities, right? So eventually all of those, we can see progress in all of those only by first having a disciplined life and having and trying to control the mind. and also being aware, right? So so especially even the process, and it's like, in the current fast paced world, right? We are dealing with things so passionately, and we are getting carried away, and right, and then we try to come to bhakti, and then we are trying to follow the sadhana bhakti, right? All of it appears to be something which is artificial, right? Because why? Because we are not in the platform of goodness, right? So even after coming to the platform of goodness, bhakti actually takes time. So Rupa Goswami very nicely explains by this verse in the Nectar of Instruction. It says, Utsaha nischaya dhairyat tat dharma pravartanat sangatyagat sato vritte sadbhir bhaktir prasidhati. Translation: there are 6 principles favoring to the execution of pure devotional service: being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting according to regulative principles such as Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. 5. Abandoning the association of non-devotees. And 6. Following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. So, right? So, we deal with technology, we do the needful, but we should always have, we need to take out time, right, in our day-to-day life, so that we also practice sadhana bhakti from the platform of the mode of goodness. We have to strive for that, right? And by doing that by doing those practices consistently, gradually, by being patient, right, we can improve our character, right? Because the process of bhakti is primarily first controlling the mind and purifying our desires, right? So all of us have lot of impure desires, right? So and we need to first be aware of them, right? And then we need to slowly start to work in a way, or to basically navigate the desire in a way so that you can utilize in the service of Krishna, right? So all of that will take time, and of course in the process of doing that, we actually may not always behave in the highest platform, right? We make mistakes, right? And so it is also important to be patient, right? So we may make mistakes, we understand that, and then we rectify from that, and then from there again we try again. So it's a very gradual process, the process of sadhana bhakti. It's a very gradual process, and it is highly essential to endeavor with confidence and be patient, right? So if you try to bring in that kind of mood where I want things fast, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing chanting for so many hours, but nothing is happening, so this is impractical, right? So it means that there's something wrong in your adoption, right? So that is why coming to the mode of goodness, and then patiently and with confidence, right? And coming in the association of devotees, doing kirtan together, right? Developing relationships with all the devotees, right? Helping each other, right? In that way, we can grow beautifully in the process of bhakti. Yeah, thank you. It's a very short presentation I made.